Hello, my name is John. Welcome back to another NEStalgiaholic video. And in this episode, we'll be taking a closer look at volume 22 of Classic Nintendo Power magazine. This came out in March 1991. I was exactly 10 years old when this came out. And I have a lot of fond memories looking through these Classic Nintendo Power magazines. They cover a lot of classic Nintendo games, Game Boy games, and starting to really get into the Super Nintendo era, which is really exciting. So let's take a closer look at this Nintendo Power issue 22. And if you want to see other issues before this, I have all the other previous 21 issues on other videos on this channel, so be sure to check those out if you like to. But let's take a closer look at volume 22. Here is volume 22, retailed for US $350. Canada was $450. Of course, if you had the subscription, it was much cheaper than that. I think it was like $12 or maybe $15 for the year for 12 issues. It was pretty cheap. I don't recall, it's been a while. But you can see cover is going to be going over Metal Storm. We got Star Topics Part 2, G.I. Joe, plus Nestor Awards, which are the awards for games up to this point from the year before. Call for ballots. And this is the source to play and win a strategy straight from the pros. Get the official Nintendo seal of quality. Whatever happened to that, I don't know. And on the back, we got four-wheel drive. Talks about four-player, hooking up with NES satellite and all that good stuff. So that's pretty cool. Well, it looks like Zach Morris right there. It's pretty funny. These old school pictures and stuff. But let's take a closer look at the inside. Unmask the Power and Animal in You. This is, I guess, Nintendo Power kind of a promotion to subscribe. How much did it cost for the year? I was not right at all. It was $30 for 2 year, 15 for 12. So yeah, it was 15 for 1 year. So I was pretty close. Here is the table of contents. Looks like they're going to talk about G.I. Joe, Princess Tomato, Mr. Island 2, Star Tropics Part 2, which previous volume 21 covered a lot of Star Tropics already. Metal Storm. Also in this is Operation C, which is a game for the Game Boy. If you like Contra, it's very similar to Contra. In fact, it is a port from Contra pretty much to the Game Boy, but it's a completely different game. Princess Bobette, 54, never heard of that. NES Pulse, NES Achievers, Top 30, and then all that good stuff, the NES Awards. This is an area where the Power Polls, where people can write in, and you write in letters to Nintendo Power. Some chick created a life-size Nintendo Game Boy, which is neat. Metal Storm. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've played Metal Storm, to be honest with you. I haven't. But here, this is interesting. They give it actually a grade. They give graphics and sound 3.8, play control 3.7, and I guess it's out of 5. Theme and fun 3.7. So I really hadn't seen any of this prior to this Nintendo Power. They're just trying to get into more of the grading scale, which we see a lot in modern, Game Informers, stuff like that. Get the side scroll, which tells you where to go. I said it before, and I'll say it again. A lot of these classic issues really show you how to play a game, not so much rate the game like gaming magazines do today. It's like a strategy, which is great, and it goes through different stages. Stage 5, Stage 6, the final boss here. Here's Howard and Nestor. Every issue has a comic with Howard and Nestor, 2-page comic. They're pretty fun to read. Here's Star Tropics. A really fun adventure game, like adventure RPG. It's really fun. If you like Zelda and stuff like that, definitely check this game out, but it's very unique gameplay. I forget who made it. There's also Star Tropics 2, which is another game that came out later on, but I forget who made it, to be honest with you. If you guys know, please let me know. I remember being super, super challenging, like most Nintendo games back in the day, right? Ghost Tunnel continued. Confession, look at that, this is like a big cave area. Captain's Bell, this is number 5. Number 6. These are nice to have if you own these games, just go through it for strategy reasons. I think the reason they want to do more strategy back in the games because they're super challenging. Games today, in my personal opinion, aren't as hard as they were back in the day. Here's some classified information, some tricks and codes and stuff like that. Mega Man 3, for example. Silver Surfer, Phantom Rush Jet, Cowabunga Corrections is an arcade game. It takes extra quarters to extend your plan. I guess if a tile screen, if you push up, right, right, down, 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 left, 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 and left again on the control pad, then press B and A, start button, you take off the other rocket sock and venture again, forces shredder, So I guess it's some kind of with 9 turtles. So you begin with 9 lives instead of 3. Narc, which is a classic game port to the arcade from an arcade. Classic codes, Konami Code, Contra, Life Force. So the Konami Code doesn't only work on Contra, it works on Life Force, Gradius, Nemesis, games like that, but it's obviously most known for Contra, up, down, down, left, right, A, B. Select start if you're playing 2-player, just start if you're playing 1-player. But I've seen people wear those shirts and people know like the meaning of life and it has that code and people just know exactly what the Konami Code was. Or it is. Adventure Island 2, love these games. This again, this is super hard. The original Adventure Island is actually based on Wonder Boy by Sega, and it just kind of spurred off in 2 different franchises. So you have the Wonder Boy series and then the Adventure Island series, becoming 2 separate games in different franchises, but they initially started off as one game, which is Wonder Boy for the Sega Master System, and the arcade is essentially the same port as the NES Adventure Island 1. But you have different, you can ride Dinosaur in this one, Sneaky Spitfire. Here's a cool little poster here. This is a Battletoads poster. That's really cool. Still in great shape. Here is Game Boy Operation C, a boy and his blob. Game Boy is still a fairly new system back in this, a couple years old. I love Operation C. I'm not sure if the Konami Code worked on there, but I would assume it did. Boy and his blob, which is also ported to the NES. Really fun side scroller. Game Boy Classified, again more information, just like the NES. They had areas for this for the Game Boy. So you got the DuckTales, which is one of my favorite games for the NES, and it's great for the Game Boy too. Boomer's Adventure, Fortress of Fear, Power Mission. Now playing Game Boy's Top 10, Super Mario Land, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Fall of the Foot Clan #2, which is a great game. Final Fantasy Legends #3, 4 is Dr. Mario, 5 is Gargoyle's Quest. Coming soon, Sports, Solomon's Club. And again, they have a grading scale here. So Operation C got 4.0 as gameplay, graphics and playability. C is challenge, and T stands for theme and fun. Inside story of NES. So it kind of breaks down the NES. So it actually opens up, it talks to the PPU and the CPU and all that good stuff, and the different buttons and how the system works, advanced hardware, and it breaks apart the Game Boy as well. It talks about how the view and look inside the Game Boy. It talks about the characters, the scrolling, RF versus RGB. G.I. Joe, which is a game coming out soon. This is a review. It got average reviews for it. Loved G.I. Joe back in the day. This is a side scroller. I mean, as far as the cartoon's concerned, this is a different. It was an okay game. It was a side scroller. Got different weapons, got ammo, flash ammo, all that good stuff, and checkpoints and bombs. Mission 2, Mission 3, Mission 4, Mission 5. That's pretty much the whole game. Now playing. You got the latest NES releases. Again, it's grading these. J. Joe, you got Indiana Jones, Last Crusade, Last Ninja, Quicks, which is an arcade game by Taito, Time of Lore. Tells you the company, publisher who made it, Acclaim. That's Achievers. People can actually submit their scores, and it's funny because it's not always scored, it's always finished. So Dick Tracy finished. So I guess not always all games have scores on them associated with them, but I'm not sure how they know you'd finish. Maybe you get to send them an videotape of them, kind of like Twin Galaxies. I'm not quite sure how that works necessarily. Here's Princess Tomato in the Salad Kingdom. And a game surprisingly got pretty high marks. It got a 4.1 theme and fun. That's interesting. I can't say I played the game. Here's Nintendo Power Awards 1990. This is the previous year, so for the first 3 months of 1991, they basically asked the fans to grade the games for graphics and sound. Got Batman for theme and fun. Okay, so I stand corrected. This is actually theme and fun. I guess people can vote. So these are the votes. I guess next issue they're going to have the results. So I stand corrected. My mistake. Best hero, best bad guy. For most innovative, best multiplayer, Dr. Mario, Gauntlet 2, Little League Baseball. Oh, how multiplayers have changed over the years. Best overall NES game, Game Boy game. Counselor's Corner, a little more secrets and and tips on how to get by certain areas in certain games like Maniac Mansion, Mega Man 3, Dragon Warrior 2. They don't have the mold system, that's bad. They usually have pretty bad molds, not in this issue. Here's top 30 games of March 1991. Mario Bros. 3 is number 1, Final Fantasy is number 2, Crystalis number 3, Mega Man 3 is number 4, Mega Man 2 is number 5, Zelda number 7, wrapping up with Super Off-Road. I love that port for the NES. It's a pretty good port based on the arcade. Maniac Mansion 17, Tecmo Bowl is 16. Mario Brothers on here anywhere? No. But look at Mega Man is 24, so you got 3 Mega Mans in the top 30. That's pretty impressive. Tetris, Turtles arcade game number 11. Your celebrity profile is Rain Pryor. Can't say I really know who she is. ABC head of the class. She's in the head of the class in ABC. I remember that show for sure. Talks about her games that she likes to play and all that good stuff. Packwatch, Power Blade, Euphoria, Tailspin, which is a Capcom game. Star Wars, just around the corner. Consumer Electric Show, CES, and they're talking about Battletoads, Force NES, Genius Boy, behind the scenes, role-playing games, Stars Were Out, Showcase, the Famicom says scratch it out, NES Showcase, ActRaiser. These are Super Famicom. I'm sorry, so this is like kind of a sneak peek at Super Famicom, Super Nintendo was now at this time. So, you know, ActRaiser, Greatest 3, Ultraman, Street Fighter. Similar to martial arts arcade game, has the same variety of moves. That looks like Final Fight. I wonder why they call it Street Fighter. Do they call it Final Fight Street Fighter in Japan? That's interesting. But it looks like Final Fight. That's not Street Fighter. Up 2. Upcoming Bart versus the Space Mutants. You got other games like Double Dragon 3 coming up in future episodes or issues. And bulletin boards, things you can back issue and order, all that good stuff. And dear readers from the editor-in-chief. And that's it, guys. Volume 22. Thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you soon.